Hey everybody, back again for part 3 of our customer experience topic. Last time we left it off was on the enhancing the employee experience.
Right? Yeah.
One of the things we talk about a lot is when you start to get into that employee experience, you're going to get into training. Like what is some of the training that's required to help employees actually perform their duties at work.
Right.
And that's great.
It's important.
It's table stakes.
Yeah.
We both worked in a lot of in different capacities
Yeah.
and combined a lot of different industries.
Yeah.
And the technical training, like we said, there's table stakes technical training
Yes.
that's required. But more importantly, in today's day and age,
Soft skills.
yeah,
It's the soft skills.
it's those little things that employees don't necessarily inherently know. And I know that leaders oftentimes don't put enough emphasis on, or they just assume.
They assume that employees will come in, new employees,
Yep.
old employees, and just have all these really great soft skills, such as, empathy and, help me out here.
Authentic behavior, their emotional intelligence,
Right.
Kindness.
Conversational skills with all different types of people, whether it's customers or other employees. All those things that kind of run in the background that might not be, a computer system or a software system or a POS system, a booking system, whatever it might be that, specifically to your company that people have to learn to use because that's the system that is used to, process all the transactions. So yes, of course they must be trained on that.
Yeah.
But assuming that they have all the other skills
Yeah.
that are massively required on a day-to-day basis is a misstep.
Well, somebody that knows how to run we'll just use a POS. It's just
Sure.
thing pops into my head. Use a POS system for
Right.
a second. Somebody that knows how to run a POS point of sale system. You push in buttons. You can teach somebody how to do that. It's relatively basic skills.
Yeah.
If I can learn it, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can learn it. So you teach them those skills. But if somebody's standing in front of a customer while they're doing it and they have a miserable look on their face, or they're busy talking to their coworker, that's our favorite.
Oh, that's our favorite. When,
just
you have employees working their systems or their tills or their whatever it may be, and completely ignoring the customers but having a really good conversation with each other. So it's impressive that they can actually run the system while the customer is standing there completely ignoring the customer but have a really good conversation about like what they're doing for the weekend, or thank God it's almost Friday, or I hate Mondays. So yeah, you can train them on the POS. They can probably do that with their eyes closed, but what they may not be able to do is actually understand or have the skills to have a great conversation with the customer.
Yeah, their self-awareness.
Engage.
Yeah, their self-awareness our emotional intelligence isn't at a level
Right.
that they identify that, hey, maybe the customer doesn't care about this. Or even to say, you know what, I'm going to have this conversation, but I'm going to engage the customer and include them in the conversation.
What are you doing for the weekend?
Versus looking at them like they're an interruption to their sidebar conversation that they're having.
Yeah.
And that's not the employee's fault.
No.
A lot of people aren't trained on how to do that. They come in with whatever skills they've acquired along the way, and then it just
They're
stays
trained
like
on
that.
the system.
Yeah.
And the expectation, and I mean, this is a frontline employee, but the expectation is from the company to them, I think a lot of times comes across as you're a transactor. So just transact, and as long as you're pushing the buttons and, getting that in right and getting the customer out the door, then you've done it. Then that is your job. And I don't know that the conversation is always there between the employee or the employer and the employee about the importance beyond just pushing the buttons in the system.
Exactly. And this goes back to what we were talking about employee experience.
Right.
Because if they don't experience that from their leader, they're
Right.
not getting coached, they're not getting guidance and support and care and kindness, if their leader doesn't have emotional intelligence,
Right.
it's pretty hard for them to pass that emotional intelligence down to the next person.
Right.
You
Or
know,
when they do see that, a lot of leaders will see that and give them shit, but it stops at that. It's like, okay, so I got in trouble, but that doesn't gain them any skills on
Right.
how to, maybe they're not great with talking with people.
Yeah.
So they get in trouble, that doesn't fix the problem.
right. And if they're not great, and if they're in a service role and they're not great with talking with people, chances are, if you've coached them, if you've engaged in them and figured everything out,
You would know that.
you'd know that, and they would probably tell you, I don't actually want to be in this
Yeah.
role. Maybe there's a role that's better suited for me that doesn't require me to talk, that's more of a behind the scenes. But even then, there's still interpersonal skills that have to go on with other employees. So those soft skills are absolutely fundamental.
Right.
And when you look at training programs, and you look at your own company, and you think, okay, so we can bring somebody in to teach them on how to sell. We can teach them on, how to run certain systems or policies, procedures.
Yeah.
You know,
Our
all of
monthly
these-
meetings on meeting targets and
Yeah,
things
like
like
this
that.
should be a topic of meetings. If
Absolutely.
you're a business that holds meetings,
Yeah. Staff
make sure that the
meetings.
meetings are worthwhile, and that those staff meetings, those weekly meetings, those monthly meetings, whatever type of meetings you have, that those meetings aren't dragging out for the sake of dragging out, and that those meetings are actually focused on things that are going to bring value.
Right. Well, they're not just always about systems.
No.
But they're about skills.
And they're not just about results, and they're not just
Exactly.
like there's a time and a place for all of these things.
Absolutely. But
within your-
completely ignoring one while only focusing on the others.
Yeah. And right now, and something that we've experienced a lot in talking with different clients and our own experiences is recovery. I mean, how to recover from a situation, when something goes wrong, because things are going to go wrong.
Always.
And do those employees have the empowerment to make decisions?
Yeah.
A lot of hierarchical sort of industry doesn't empower the employees to the degree that they could, and so you actually lose a lot of time and money and resources in creating this funnel where if a customer's having a bad experience, they've got to go through all these steps. So you're making the customer do all the hard work, which is completely unfair.
While busing each lower level of employee
Yep.
along the way. Like as the person escalates to get their final result that they want to see that fixes the situation,
Yep.
you've now taken away the credibility of every employee that they had to move above to get to the problem solver. So the next time that customer comes in, they know that, this person can't do anything. So, write them off. This person can't do anything. So write them off. It
Yeah.
really, and then that breaks down your employee experience
Yeah.
because they know if somebody gets mad, it's gonna escalate, and I end up under the bus.
Exactly. They're getting beaten down. So empowerment can help address that. Recovery, teaching them how to recover. So when somebody does come in with a complaint, that they don't become defensive, that they don't feel like they have to get back on their toes. And this goes back to the empathy piece, being able to understand from the customer's perception or perspective what's actually going on, and saying things like, I understand. I hear what you're saying, versus, nope, sorry, that's not the way we do
That's not our
things.
policy.
And so giving them the ability to actually navigate through that allows them to save face, it allows them to feel empowered, it allows the customer experience to improve, it allows the employee experience to improve. So as we said before when we started this series, there's a lot of stuff
Ton of things.
going on. We can't possibly cover off the entire customer experience, employee experience
For every company
for every company.
in a couple of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we wanted to get out there is hopefully some little tidbits for you to go back and reflect on your own business, whether you're an
Or
employee.
If you're an employee,
Yeah.
great. If you're a customer,
Yeah.
great. If you're an owner, a manager, great.
Look for these things. Engage your leaders if you're not getting it. Figure out if there's a way that you can actually start to enhance. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
We'd love your feedback. And we want to help. I mean, the whole point of all of this stuff is so that we can help people elevate lifestyle. Your employees, they want to elevate their lifestyle. Your customers, they want to elevate their lifestyle. Individuals, just your life in general outside of work, people want to elevate that. So that's it for now. Stay tuned. You'll hear from us again.
Bye.
Cheers.